Yep, yard light's still on. I'm not here later than I wanted to be. Go figure. And light on over at the neighbor's house there too. And here we go. It's a coming. I just kicked this in the butt. Don't want it in too freaking late. Don't want it in too freaking early, but also don't want any more running off than we got to. And I don't want to move it sometime after lunch. It's come to that time of year. I parked this by the steps to the trailer underneath the awning. I got to get me a seat rag. It doesn't matter where you park, it's going to be full of dew. Even in the end section of the big bale barn, backed in there 10 feet. And we did have the awning put in. Wet seats on the bikes, so I slept in. Don't ask me why. I was awake at 4:30 and I started to get up, and I should have. Next thing I know, Becky's alarm's going off and she was going to get up at 6. No, it's 1:15 now. I'm going to go find my way to the shop. Try to keep an eye on this. Got the other one running. I stopped it after dinner last night. It was just right at the edge of going into the old creek bed, so it was perfect. Drug it back out, so it was ready to go. All I had to do was turn the valve on this morning. I'm just trying to decide if I should speed this one up more or not. Oh well, it is what it is. And most of Dino's group is from that calf the other way. Dino's over there where we feed them their hay, and all of Bam's group is in the feed barn. Yeah, funny how that works. Hey, guess what? He doesn't belong there. I'm gonna guess that that's his mother. Go figure, yellow tag. And now the fun part, getting him actually out of there without everybody else going in there. Okay, somebody asked what it was. There it is. All the information I can give you right there. And there was also a couple, what about your angle? And yeah, I know that's the bad thing on a skid steer, especially that one. It's, if you make something square to the ground, it ain't going to end up that way. So I was just looking, and I've thought about it, I just didn't do it. I'm going to trim these, well, that away, because the best I can do is set on there and set on the front, and yeah, I know, that'll lop the corner off, but it's setting on the actual coupler there itself, I think. No, it's not. It's up about 1/8 of an inch. Stay there. But my pin will clear. That's kind of important. And it does mean I'll have to trim that off, but that's not a big deal. That'll give it a little bit. And God knows I've done enough of these types of things and then go back later and cut the base off and have to peel it up. And the big bale spear that I unload the truck with, that is one of those things. I made it so it had a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't enough. Couldn't get them rocked back far enough to shift the load actually onto the machine, so it was always hanging out front. And that's when I got mad one year. And on that, it's on a piece of 2x4, so it's 2 inches welded here. I cut them off, cut a little relief cut up here, went like this, and threw a piece of 3x3 tubing in there. I could have even gone a little more, but that works out pretty good because it'll still dump off okay. That's the other issue, is if once you get it rocked back far enough, it's hard to dump. But anyway, yeah. Just a little more to the project. Story of my life. Well, somewhere over there, somebody's got a critter that the coyotes are getting, I think. I don't know if they'll come, if it's picking it up or not. There's one that's been doing the yay, 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 yay. 2 others at least that are chiming in. And every now and then it sounds like a critter that's getting the shit ripped out of it. Cows ain't worried, so it ain't over there. It's a little farther away than that. That's what happens when you got all these little patches out here now. You know, acre, 2 acres, 5 acres. People don't do shit with it. They wonder why they end up missing their dogs and their cats. Don't see so many signs now, but a couple years ago, literally every freaking power pole had 2 or 3 or 4 deals stuck on there. Hey, my cat's missing. Has anybody seen it? And even after 6 months, these people were still going back and putting new ones up. Because, you know, the weather kind of fucks with the old ones. Excuse my French. Almost sounds like somebody yelling at them now. All it takes is a couple of shots to leave. I don't get it. But y'all know I don't put up with them here. Unfortunately, I know they still sneak through at night, and not much I can do about it. But if we see one, they usually don't walk away. So, that's what I'm doing. Trimming that off. We'll put that piece on the angle it's on. Should anyway. And if you know anything about these, you go through tips. Same with on a wire feed. Except the wire feed, you wear them out from the inside. Yeah, I was thinking it was probably time to change tips, but God, you know, you hate to, so you just keep fighting it. Show you what the new ones look like. That's a new cut. Little tiny hole in the middle, that's where all the juice comes out. This goes inside it, and it's got a insulation piece where I got a hold of it. This goes through that, pokes through it from the backside, that sets on it, and then the shield goes over. I don't know what kind of metal that is in the middle, but that's where all the pixies come through. I'll come apart. Focus. See how it's got a goober on it? That hole's not round anymore. So that's a little bigger than it should be, and all black on the inside. So there's your well used versus brand new. All the black on this. Now, to look at them this way, it looks alright, it's just dirty. If it will focus. Come on. See the metal in the end? Come on. Well, maybe you ain't gonna see it. From the center out, there are swirl cuts in it. Give me a second. Illustration purposes. So from the center of that, I don't want to mark anything else up. If that's the metal piece in the middle, and your outside has the serrations, splines, whatever you want to call them. So that'd be the sides. It gets little swirls like this. That's ate into the end, and then things just don't go right. So it's time to change them. I believe it was Brent that said probably ought to change them. And white stuff on here, I've never had that before. Don't know if we run a little moisture through the air system or what. And there's a button you can push on that. It'll just blow air through it, won't do anything. Man, I did it and a whole bunch came out of there. But anyway, I got one side of these marked. I'm going to cut them, clean them up, flip them over, and get the other side marked, and go from there. But I got to put it together first. I'm going to take a rag and clean what I can off too. Okay, see if I can show you something again today. See if it will cut a little better. Shit. It's going to be a lot of sparks where I don't want them. So, here we go. And that is more how it's supposed to work. Those couple of times I just goofed up. I raised up too much. Can you tell? That is what it's supposed to look like when you're done. Except for there. That kind of looks like it hit a hard spot and shot over. And that you can see the slag breaking off. It's not much there. Slag hammer will actually knock that off, but I like to just go ahead and hit it with a grinder. It usually falls off easy enough. Almost done with these. What I do when I do these is the first one I measured out and marked out and center punched and drilled 1/4 inch hole in both of them, and then get them squared up close we can on the ends. There's pairs because 2 of them were a little shorter than the others. I mean, you know, you're talking a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch. You know, this bottom one's a touch longer than that one, and they're, you know, almost flush here. It actually shifted this one's that way a touch. This one's, top one's that way a little bit, but bottom is perfect. So that way they don't look way off, and they're pairs. Because I clamp them together. There's 2 there, 2 there. Drill the first 1/4 inch hole and drop a 1/4 inch bolt in it so it stays lined up. Then drill the other 1/4 inch hole, make sure a bolt goes in it. Then go to the next size up, which I went from 1/4 to 1/2 inch. I mean, I had an alignment and they're clamped. Then I drop a 1/2 inch bolt in, the one that's done, pull the 1/4 inch out, drill the 1/2 inch. And do the same thing on the other set. Then, for lack of anything else, you know, I mean, we got lots of old bits in that drawer, but some of them are a little short to do much. I would have gone to 3/4 inch, but the 3/4 inch, I know there's one in there, but I couldn't find it. It's too short to make it through both of these without screwing up. So I think it was 25-30 seconds is what I had. And I didn't worry about dropping an alignment at that point, because once you're that big, they'll stay lined up. And then we went to 1 inch. 1 inch on the slow machine. You can almost count the revolutions versus this one, and this one's actually set in the slowest position here at the transmission. So, and the other thing, this one, if a 1 inch bit catches, you're going to go for a ride. That one's direct drive. This one's belt drive up above, because when this was at Tektronix, that motor burnt up, and you know, not like they could get a new one. So they pulled the guts out of it and put a step pulley on it. And we changed the motor because it had a 3-phase and we couldn't run 3-phase. So that motor's actually, I think it's a 1 horse, might be a 1.5 horse, off of you know, whatever the popular drill press was 30 years ago. You know, the $100, $150 drill press that everybody had, and they got by. Anyway, now I'm going to chamfer them. Everybody says, why you got such a big chamfer bit? Well, because a 1-inch one ain't going to do nothing to that. So now's the point they get split up. They're marked. The pairs are marked. The tops are marked. So the fun begins. Well, it's stuck together. I mean, that part's done. I'm just not finished here. We got to get going. Going up to visit Becky's dad. Haven't been there for a while. So that's my start. And you can see I go along the other side. Figure where my handle is here. Tacked on the ends and tacked in there. I'm going to take this off so I can get in there and actually weld it. The only place I really can't get into is where that is. But there it is, one of them. I think I got everything cut on the right angles. That's the angle I tried to stick with what was there so it doesn't interfere with hooking up. And the bottom I cut it off so it cleared here. This is the only one, no wait a minute. This is the only one that's not cut on a 45. The others are all knocked off on 45s. And yeah, I'll stick it there. I might even cut a piece and stick in here. And I hope I'm right on how it's going to fit. It should literally just fit. By all my measurements, that should still be just inside here, just barely. But I'm going to get cleaned up and head out and get your video put up for you. So thank everybody for watching. And hope you all had a good Saturday. Hope everybody has a great Sunday. And before I forget, shut my air conditioning off. Not that it's done much today, but God, it feels a lot better with it on. It's only, I don't know what it really is. We're supposed to be 85 today. So, yeah, it's at least 85. Tomorrow, I don't have much to do on this one. I'll have this one done. Then I just got to make the other one match it. Throw some paint on it, make sure my holes line up. That's the worst thing. And usually I run a reamer through these, and I haven't done that yet. The 1-inch bit was true enough to get the pin in there, so that's about all I can do at the moment.